Hello, my name is Terry White, Worldwide Design and Photography Evangelist for Adobe, and it's my pleasure to talk to you about Adobe Stock, the brand new Adobe Stock service available to Creative Cloud members and integrated into your Adobe Creative Cloud 2015 applications. So first thing you might be thinking about is, well, how does this work? Is it part of my Creative Cloud membership? Are the images royalty free? So forth and so on. So let me get to that right off the bat, then I'll show you how the service works. First and foremost, let's hop over to my web browser. And in my web browser, I'm on the Adobe Stock page, just stock.adobe.com. And then if you go to plans, you can check these out. And this is how you would purchase stock images for use royalty free. Now, if you don't want to subscribe to a plan, maybe you only require an image every blue moon, then you can just go ahead and purchase a single image as you need it whenever you want for only $9.99 per image. However, if you are the kind of person that uses stock on a regular basis, then you're probably better off subscribing to one of the plans. And what that means is if you're a Creative Cloud member, you get a deep discount over someone who's not a member. You get 40% off. So for example, if you want 10 images a month, you only have to pay $29.99 a month, and you get 10 royalty-free images to choose from a month, which basically brings the price down to 3 images per month. Let's say you don't use all 10. Maybe this month you only download 5. Well, those 5 that you didn't use roll over to the next month. So you don't lose them. You get to roll over up to 120 images before you start to lose them. So either purchase image by image or subscribe to one of the plans. And if you are a Creative Cloud member, I think that 10 images a month at 40% off is probably the best way to go. If you're a regular, just, hey, I don't, subscribe to this, but I do want an image every now and then, you can still play along as well for $9.99 an image. And if you're a volume user, there's even a 750 images a month for $199, which brings, again, the price way down. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at now how it works. I've got an image here. This is a photograph that I actually took of a model, and I took her against a white background, and I would love to put a different background, maybe a stock background behind her. So if I head over to my Creative Cloud Libraries panel, in my Libraries panel, there is a brand new Adobe Stock icon. You'll see at the bottom of all the library panels in all the applications. So if I just click that, it will take me to the Adobe Stock website. And from there, I can do a search for whatever I want. And same thing here, if you want to learn how to buy the plans, you can do that as well. I'm already on a plan that gives me some images, and I'm going to go ahead and search for fashion background. It's actually a search I've already done. So I can search for just photos, just illustrations, or just vectors, or all three. I'm going to go ahead and do that search, and it will just start showing me images. I can scroll through until I find one that I'm interested in. Once I find one that I'm interested in, I really like this one, I can click on it and see it in more detail. I can see other ones that are like it, which is kind of cool, similar images. And I might like this one a little bit better, more from the series. Yeah, I kind of like that better where it's a little bit lighter on the background. And if I'm not quite sure how it's going to look behind my model, that's the best part. I don't have to buy it yet. I have to use one of my 10 images. I don't have to pay $10 for it. I can download a preview of this first, and I can save it to any one of my Creative Cloud libraries. So I created a library called Adobe Stock, and I can go ahead and save this preview to Adobe Stock. Once I do that, the image will save to Adobe Stock. I can head back over to my Photoshop application, and there it is. The image is already there in my library to use. Now, what's the difference between that preview image and one that I would purchase? Well, as you might imagine, it's low resolution and watermarked. But let's go ahead and drag it over, and I can go ahead and put it in position the way I want. I can scale it, of course, and put it where I want it to be. Of course, it's more of a landscape image, and I'm working on a vertical image, but that's okay. I can also expand the background out and see more of it. But let's go ahead and say that that's what I want so far, and of course, I'm going to move it behind the subject. And while we're at it, we'll go ahead and grab the crop tool, and we'll kind of uncrop this so that we can see all of the image, because now we don't have to stick to the vertical original. We can work with the more landscape style image, or actually it's more like a square. But let's go ahead and now lock that in. And of course, it's on a separate layer, so I can now move around my model. I can scale her, put her wherever I want her to be, wherever it looks more natural. So let's scale her down a little bit. There we go. That might look a little bit better. And yeah, I like this. I like this background. I like the way this looks with the model that I photographed. Of course, I'd put in some shadows and things like that to make it look more realistic as a composition. But for the most part, I'm happy with this image and I'm ready to continue. So if I'm happy with the image and I want to keep it, then what I can do is head back over to my library, and I can just right click on it from the library and say license this image. Or I could head back to the website and license the image. But since I'm here, let's do it here. Let's go ahead and license the image. It's telling me, hey, it's going to take one of the ones that you've purchased. Basically going to take away one of your images that you're allowed. So if I only had 10, I'd now have 9 because I'm actually buying this one. And it's now syncing down the high-res unwatermarked version. And here's the best part. It replaced it in Photoshop for me in my layout. I didn't have to do anything else. I've got the real image now. No more watermark, no more serial number, no more low resolution. It's the full res file available for me, ready to use. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, what if you want this and you don't want it in a library? In other words, you just want the image. Maybe you want to use it in a different program, an older version of your CC applications that doesn't have a library, or maybe in Muse, for example, something else. Well, if you head back over to the website, you can also, when you license these, you can save to desktop. So you can save that image to your desktop so that it is basically a JPEG ready to be used on your desktop, and you can put it anywhere you want and use it any way you want. So that's the way the Adobe Stock images work, royalty free. That's now in my background. It's integrated into my Creative Cloud library, so I can use that from now on in any image. And again, I don't have to worry about whenever I'm looking for just the right image, I can now do it built into my Creative Cloud applications. So that's Adobe Stock, a first look. We're looking at it in Photoshop CC for 2015, but you could do the same thing in InDesign and Illustrator as well as new applications coming along the way, as well as your mobile applications, because now that that's in my library, my mobile applications can see that image as well. So take care, and we'll catch you on the next one.